Hello, welcome back to Dawes Gaming, and today I'm talking to you about a very specific game called Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. And today I'm going to be talking to you about why I think this game will be the launch game for the next console. In my past video, I also included this statement, but today I'm going into full detail of why I think this is the way. And I will also be sharing some things I hope we see in the next Metroid Prime game. Okay, so first of all, you can clearly see that Metroid Prime 4 is supposed to be a big game because it was placed at the end of the Nintendo Direct it was shown at. That is normally reserved to the big games. And since it's been a while since we got the trilogy, this game will be a big deal because it's Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, not Metroid Prime 4. So that's just a small nitpick, but okay. So with consoles typically release with one game on the previous console and one game on the new console for two reasons. One, they typically like to give people time to get the console, and also they sometimes want to do this to show off and save the games that they want so they can basically just wait and then they can drop the later games to see how good they are. But they're not going to do that for the amazing games, and they also need to do that for Metroid Prime 4. Because if Metroid Prime 4 is not the launch game, it will be completely overlooked, which is the problem. Metroid Prime 4 is going to be a big game, but when you're comparing it to like a 3D Mario or Mario Kart, it's not going to get a spotlight. So it needs to happen before the Mario Kart and 3D Mario and all those other games, because if it happens before them, then it's considered a big game, and that way it will get a chance to be in the spotlight. Because if it releases after Mario Kart, many people will be like, I already have Mario Kart, so why would I buy this game? Because that's one of the things about these types of games. So that's why I think it needs to be a game that releases before the Mario Karts and 3D Marios, and that's why I picked launch, so Mario Kart could release like 3 weeks after, 2 weeks after. But then there's also, has Nintendo have a presence of doing this before? And yes, they have. I already used this example, but Twilight Princess on the Wii. So, yeah, that's one of the examples, and despite being backwards compatible. And this just happens on like every console. Even Breath of the Wild. It was backwards compatible on, I don't know if you can count that backwards compatible, but it's on both consoles, Wii U and Switch. So it definitely can be, because they do this with every console. They always have one game that releases on both consoles day one of the new console. And they're not going to allow a new Mario Kart to be on the old console. That just doesn't make sense financially. So they really need a game that can be on both consoles. They've already said it will be on the Switch, and that's why I think it will be that cross-release day one. So that's why it is very important that it comes day one of the new console, because there's a very good chance it just gets outshadowed and overlooked if it ends up, well, you could say not coming after, because if it doesn't, then the problem would be it just isn't relevant anymore and people just move on. But the thing is, this game is looking to be one of the most important games in the Metroid Prime series, because if you look at it, the last Metroid Prime game was forever ago. Metroid Prime 3 was in 2007. So this game feels to be the final Metroid Prime game, in my opinion, because it's beyond. It's not Metroid Prime 4, it's Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, which probably means this is the end of the Metroid. Well, it's no longer a trilogy, actually. And then in 2009, they added an extra game called the Metroid Prime Trilogy, where you get a pack-in of all 3 games, Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3. And also, there's something to be said about the Metroid Prime games on the regular Switch, like Metroid Prime 2 Remastered or Metroid Prime 3 Remastered. So that could also be a big deal, but that's not really what we're talking about. Okay, so now what do I hope to see in this brand new game? Well, this brand new game will probably end up being one of the, you could say, best games if it doesn't get overlooked. So the best thing to make it not overlooked is to give it around 2 weeks in the spotlight. So basically, you just need to juice this up with content. It doesn't matter if it's tedious, it doesn't matter whatever, just add content. Like, it doesn't matter, the 999 moons in Odyssey, that's content. And people do it. And when they see that there's extra content, then people buy it because of the content. So, it's just really important that they juice this game up with a ton of content, because that's how it doesn't get overlooked. That's how it remains a staple if it somehow has so much content that nobody can 100% it for months or something like that. And then you can't, it's like physically impossible to 100% it before a Mario Kart comes out. That would be the problem. It needs to be able to be 100%ed before the next big game. You cannot not allow someone to fully 100% a game and then being like, oh yeah, you should buy another one, but you haven't even finished the past game, which means you're going to forget about it at some point, and then you're going to waste your money, which I guess they might want you to do, but most people won't make those bad decisions about that, and they will just not buy the next game, which will be a problem for Nintendo. So, you need to have so much content, but then you can't release the next game soon enough to make sure everyone can finish the game if they want to. Well, thank you for watching Dawes Gaming. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Remember, it's free, and please comment down below if you have something you want to say, and I will see you all in the next video.